There are a ton of books out there on personal finance, and you could very easily spend a lifetime and a half going through each one. But what if I told you that there were only three books that you needed to read in order to build the foundational knowledge necessary to reach financial independence and retiring early? A very special welcome back to the almost 9% of y'all who are subscribed. And if you're new here, I'm Raymond, a software engineer on the path to financial independence and retiring early. If you'd like to follow me on my journey, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, so thank you so much in advance. So without further ado, let's dive into the three books that personally changed my life when it comes to personal finance. The first book on this list is pretty much a classic at this point, and it's Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin and Joe Dominguez. The fundamental idea in this book is to shift your thinking from money as something that you just earn and spend to a store of your life energy. Each one of us has a limited amount of time on this planet. We don't know how long or short it is, but we know that it's going to end at some point. So every hour that you spend working, you are exchanging the limited amount of time that you have on this planet for money. Where it gets interesting is when you think about spending that money that you earn, because you are literally exchanging a store of your life energy for something that you want or something that you need. This book is definitely on the older side at this point. I think that it really shows its roots in the original FIRE movement back in the early 2010s, talking a little bit more about frugality and minimalism rather than the things that we have currently. But I think that it's still a great read in terms of answering the core why of FIRE that a lot of us decide to go down. Once you know why so many of us want to pursue this path of financial independence and retiring early, the next step is to figure out how we get there. And for a lot of us, starting off can be the scary part as well. We don't have a lot of knowledge on where to start. We don't know how to get out of our situation with debt. We don't know how to invest, and we don't know what happens once we want to hit that retire early button. This is where the second book, The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins, comes in. Assuming that you're already dead set on pursuing financial independence and retiring early, this is really the only book you need to go from point A to point B, where point A is really anywhere in your net worth that isn't retired early, and point B is, well, retired early. This book is such a deep dive on all these aspects, from getting out of debt, investing and saving, and why and where to invest it, as well as withdrawal strategies and just the author's own thoughts. This is probably the closest book that's the equivalent to Your Money or Your Life for modern FIRE folks. And it's one that's very, very highly recommended in the community, and for good reason. This just goes over everything that you need, except for that why. You're going to need to figure that out on your own. The one thing that I love about this book is that it really emphasizes the point of FIRE being a simple but slow path to wealth. You need to let compounding interest and time do its work. While there are people who are able to make it work and reach financial independence and retire early using these high-risk methods, investing in these alternative investments, or just literally gambling, that's not the most reliable way to get there. And if there's only one way that you could choose in order to get to wealth and in order to reach financial independence and retiring early, I think that the things that the author states in this book are very, very solid. But now that you know why you want to be financially independent and you know how to get there, let's talk about making it happen. And this is where the last of my books, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, comes in. This book is really interesting because it's really different from the past two books that I did recommend. This one sort of reads off like a collection of short stories and lessons that come after them, almost in a fable-like manner. Morgan Housel, the author, talks about a bunch of different situations and really how money can affect our behaviors and how those behaviors can either lead to a lifetime of solid wealth or a very, very quick downfall into bankruptcy. I think even for those of us who already know that we need to invest and save diligently, this book is still a really solid read, especially in situations like we have recently where we have a bunch of stocks blowing up, or even looking back at 2021 when we had meme stocks and crypto and a bunch of other things blowing up. And we all thought to ourselves, why don't we just invest in that and try to supercharge our early retirement sort of fund? And while it might work for some folks, it is a very, very high risk play that can lead to a lot of people getting burned. And I personally got a little bit burned in that situation as well back in 2021. I made some pretty stupid investments, and while I didn't get hurt too much over them, I certainly did learn my lesson. So I think that this book really does a good job of looking at how we are influenced, how our behaviors are influenced by money, and what we can do to counteract that. But those are my 3 books that I'd recommend to build a foundational knowledge and really all that you need. Of course, there are a bunch of other books out there talking about stocks and individual investments and so on and so forth. But if you want a simple and reliable way to get to early retirement, I think that these 3 books are really all you need. But let me know what y'all think. Maybe there are some books that I missed that you think are foundational to personal finance. And let me know in the comments down below if you think so. In any case, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video.